This is a journal article review on an article by Macabler et al. 2015. The name of the article is The Impact of Social Media Networks Website Usage on Students' Academic Performance. The agenda of this presentation, we discuss a summary of the article, what is ANOVA analysis, application of the 6-stage model, and recommendations I have for the article and for the researcher. In summarizing this article entitled The Impacts of Social Network Sites on Academic Performance, the researcher wanted to examine how significant of an impact the usage of these social network sites are on academic performance. The study was conducted based on a population of over 30,000 university students in Jordan. The sample size eventually was 366 responses from the university student schools. Now directly wanted to assess the impact of network sites on academic performance, but there were also other variables being examined, such as age, gender, academic level, usage per day, usage per week, and most used site. These variables acted as a moderator in the research model on top of the impact of using these social network sites. Right? Now, the statistical techniques being used in the article was descriptive analysis, the t-test, and ANOVA, well known as the analysis of variance. Now, what exactly is ANOVA analysis? Tabachnik et al. 2007 states that the analysis of variance tests the statistical significance of mean differences among different groups or scores. We identified that the different groups here in this article were the 6 variables such as age and gender, etc. Right? Now, Sawyer in 2009 also stated that the analysis of variance is a statistical test for detecting differences in group means when there is one parametric dependent variable and one or more independent variables. The dependent variable here would be academic performance, and the independent variables would be those variables discussed previously. Again, such as age, gender, usage per day, usage per week, etc. Now, when using or interpreting the ANOVA analysis, we rely on the usage of the F-test and the significance level. The significance level must be less than 0.05. Once this is adhered to, it aids in not rejecting the null hypothesis. Now, the application of the 6-stage model. The 6 steps are: define the research problem, objectives, and multivariate techniques to be used. The researcher outlined a research problem, and he also had 2 research objectives. Develop the analysis plan, looked at the sample sizes and types of variables. The sample type was adequate with 366 respondents, and there were 6 variables to assess. Evaluate the assumptions underlying the multivariate technique. For the ANOVA analysis, the article, we would have looked at 4 assumptions underlying the ANOVA analysis. Estimating the multivariate model and assess overall model fit, interpret the variates, and validate the multivariate model. Now, for this article, the researcher unfortunately did not really provide any validation for the use of this multivariate model. Now, my recommendations for Macabler et al. Would be to explain the techniques a little more clearly. They would have mentioned some techniques or some coefficients such as the Cronbach and the correlation techniques, the correlation coefficients, sorry. But what exactly are these coefficients? So as I was speaking in terms of the data collection, more could have been done to provide comfort to the reader or the examiner of how the data was collected or processed, any issues or any manipulation of data, right? And once again, the emphasis on the assumptions of the multivariate technique. The assumptions were not really developed well enough, and to provide, once again, comfort to the examiner or reviewer. So the researcher can improve on this moving forward. All right, and thank you. That is my journal article review.